Welcome to the second presentation of aspects of final year engineering project work. In this presentation, we are going to focus on general requirements for projects. The basic requirement is that it should solve some problem. The focus should be solving the problems, but not the problems which are so simple to solve that they wouldn't make an interesting piece of work. What is required normally is called a wicked problem, one for which solutions are not well known or obvious. This doesn't necessarily mean that the problem has never been solved before, but projects that simply set out to repeat someone else's work are weak unless they incorporate some new aspect or adopt a different approach. Copying somebody's work is obviously does not fit in ethics, in any professional ethics, but studying that particular solution and finding out a new methodology by which we can solve that particular problem can be a project work. Now, after choosing the problem, we have to evaluate that particular problem. Instead, I will say not evaluate, but we can study by using these three aspects. The first aspect is that a project must be big enough to fill your time. On the other hand, it must also be small enough for you to have a reasonable chance of completing it within that time frame. The second constraint is that the resources required for the project should be within reach. The study material, the fabrication work, the fabrication facilities, or the material required for that particular project, whether it is in reachable area or not, we have to search for. So the second constraint we have to think about is that whether the resources are within reach or not. The third and major constraint is about budget. It is very much important to estimate the budget of that particular project. The budget totally depends upon who is the user of that particular product what you are going to develop in that particular project. Now we will discuss what one may do during his project work. It is not by the sequence, but these are the contents the student can do during his project work. First one is define the objective of the project. That is quite obvious. He has to define the objective. What is his objective for that particular project? Second, acquiring the background information about the problem and its possible solutions. Definitely he has to study its background. What did the previous researchers do regarding that particular problem solving? Thirdly, that establishing the criteria by which your solution to that problem will be judged. That is what type of experimentation or testing you are going to do. Design that one. Then determining by what process the work will be carried out. This is what the methodology we can call it as. Then of course the planning is needed. The whole planning and detailed planning we have to make that in phases. By this month we have to finish this, by second month we have to finish that, etc, etc, etc. Then in the methodology there are many methodologies. Then you have to adopt one methodology out of that. You have to study different methodology by which you can solve that particular problem. Analyze the requirements of that particular project and make the use of any constructing tools. Construction of one or more artifacts is quite obvious in that case. Nowadays softwares are available, 3D softwares are available. You can do design on the software and you can easily judge whether it is feasible or not. Then you have to evaluate your solution to that particular problem, and lastly you have to focus on the your report, how to write the report. Thank you very much.